The theme of the next Scala conference is going to be educating the beautiful mind. I was in graduate school at Princeton when they filmed the movie, The Beautiful Mind, here in Princeton. And I think the idea that the life of the mind and the life of the intellect is supposed to open us up to wonder and joy is something that's largely been forgotten. Or if people talk about it, they might talk about it in terms of the fine arts, but not in terms of mathematics or physics or even engineering. I picked this topic because after 3 years of running Scala's programs, the summer program on the mission of the university and the integration of faith and reason, one of the topics students are most eager to discuss is the culture of educational institutions and how what they're learning in the classroom shapes friendship or community or the ability to engage in activities of learning that are fun and open-minded and curious. As I began to read more on this topic, I discovered that really in ancient philosophy, the idea of the unity of beauty and truth was very prominent. And I think it's something that's largely been forgotten, where discussions of truth tend to get framed in perhaps rationalistic or scientific terms, such that what we're doing with the rest of our brain or our hearts is purely subjective and not somehow leading us towards an objective truth. So what I hope to do in this conference is bring together scholars who can help us understand what are the trends that have led to how we even think about the place of beauty in education, or more specifically, why have we forgotten the important role of beauty in education. I also hope that the conference would highlight case studies of practices of education across different fields. It could be in the humanities, English literature, for example, or it could also be in science. What are educational practices that bring an appreciation of beauty and truth into learning? And I would also like to try to help educators at the university level or also perhaps at the K-12 level think concretely about what are some of the curricula and the practices and practical outcomes that can be demonstrated if this approach to education is adopted. We do ultimately live in an era where measurement or impact is a question people are always going to ask. And I think we need to broaden the discussion of what that measurement or impact is, because in some ways it's hard to quantify what it is to create a full human being. I am absolutely convinced, based on my experiences with Scala, that when students encounter a classroom that challenges their mind to think rigorously, but also opens their heart to enjoy and experience wonder and awe, students are transformed. And once they've experienced this kind of integration of knowledge, of beauty and truth, whatever their field of study could be, law, art, English literature, science, theology, engineering, the whole person is transformed and approaches knowledge and learning in a new way that makes them creative, free thinkers, they have the ability to take responsibility for their own learning, and they also know how to form the bonds of friendship and community through which education becomes a lifelong enterprise.